It was ahead of this year's Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, which Gronk co-hosted. They asked him which player he'd like to slime, and he said, "I'll have to go with Tom right now." All because he retired, and then the debacle of coming right back and unretiring 40 days later. I think he deserves to get slimed for that retirement that he had. Cam Jordan, does Tom Brady deserve to be slimed for the 40 days of discontent?
Why not? I mean, go for it. I mean, you know, it's not going to make me feel anything but happy. He's part of a divisional rival right now.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say rival. Divisional opponent.
Fair enough. You don't consider them a rival?
No, I mean, we all know it's a New Orleans versus Atlanta. It's a New Orleans versus the world. So we see everybody as a rival. But, no, in terms of Tampa Bay, never.
Fair enough. Marcus, does Tom Brady deserve to be slimed for all the things that, for the 40 days he put us through thinking we had to learn to live with a football world without him?
Yes, he does, G. It's the only good thing that hasn't happened to him in football yet. And listen, I'm looking forward to seeing it happen. I'm looking forward to seeing Tom Brady get slammed. But I'm going to tell y'all something right now before we get this show popping off for the rest of the day. There is nobody in America happier than the guy sitting next to you, Graz, and UG that Tom Brady came back. Because every time he play Tom Brady, he make about $1 million. Because it's going to be a sack fumble somewhere in that game twice a year.
Fair enough. So Graz, let's dive into this with Cam, because I was trying to get to the root of this before we came on, because you used the expression in our pre-show meeting today that Brady plays chess. It's a commonly known expression. How would you describe what it's like playing it? We always hear about how he's manipulating with his mind, all that kind of stuff. You face him twice a year. A couple of years ago, it was 3 times a year in that division. How would you describe what makes him so unique?
I mean, everybody knows you hit Tom Brady, he speeds the ball up. You hit Tom Brady, he starts check downs. Tom Brady doesn't like to be hit. And it's you know, for being in the league for 22 years, everybody gets that. But he doesn't play just for the next down or the next series. He'll play next game. If you got a great game plan together, he'll go in at halftime to make adjustments. If he doesn't like that adjustment, they'll just win the next game. Like, they're not too stressed about it. I mean, we beat him twice in, you know, twice the first year we played him, lost in the playoffs, beat him twice again this past year. He's not really worried about it. He doesn't get too flustered. He gets angry maybe at his offensive line real quick that he wants to be more protected. And everybody knows if you hit Tom Brady, coaching staff is in trouble. Somebody's in trouble, but Tom Brady's just too elite of a quarterback to say, hey, like, I'm worried about this play, next play, whatever. And honestly, Swagoo, if Tom Brady decided to retire and, you know, the announcement wasn't forced, I think that he would have stayed retired, and then I wouldn't have to deal with him. I'd rather a young quarterback than Tom Brady.
Why have you had so much success against him? You have. I mean, Swagoo pointed it out, and it's right. You've beaten him. The playoff game that your team lost, you threw all those interceptions. Your defense has really outplayed their offense every time you've been on the field against them, despite how good they've generally been. Why have you been so successful against them?
Man, I think that when you think about our defense, right? You know, you talk about Marshawn Lattimore, you talk about, you know, Marcus Williams at the time, you talk about Demario Davis, myself, you know, you've got just a phenomenal defense that stacked up well against guys like Mike Evans. I think, you know, Marshawn Lattimore loves that matchup. I think that, you know, when it comes to what we're able to do with a guy like Leonard Fournette, we love that hard-nosed football. So we're able to match them pound for pound, weight for weight, power for power on the defensive side. And if you can neutralize them on offense, you see what happens in games.
Saints a sneaky, interesting team this year. How about Brady getting slimed, Graziano?
Oh, well, of course he deserves it, and he would probably agree. I mean, the vacillating between retire and not retire, I mean, that's some Brett Favre stuff. And I'm sure that Tom Brady never wanted to be that guy, and here we are. So, yes, I think he does deserve it. I agree with Gronk. I think Gronk's on the money there, and maybe it'll happen. Maybe they'll stage it, and it'll be like some TB12 production, and they'll make some money off of it.
It feels to me like a mortal lock. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.